Thereupon Azog came forth, and he was a great orc with a huge iron-clad head, and yet agile and strong. As the most numerous and cowed of Sauron's servants, capable of sacrificing their own lives without hesitation at his command, orcs are usually depicted as little more than cannon fodder, with the Dark Lord caring little how many would fall to ensure his victory. Yet we are told that to some he showed favor and fed them lavishly, and while most orcs are in the service of one of his chief agents, a lesser master under their greater one, there are also those orcs who can act as leaders, the most notable of which is Azog. What makes these orc chieftains different from the lowly orcs they direct? Most of them, plainly and biologically, were corruptions of elves, and probably later also of men, but always among them, as special servants and spies of Melkor, and as leaders, there must have been numerous corrupted minor spirits who assumed similar bodily shapes. These would exhibit terrifying and demonic characters. As we know, the first orcs were base mockeries of pre-existing real beings, bred through the corruption of elves by Morgoth as Melkor, and later of men, which was achieved not by Melkor in person, but by Sauron in the Elder Days. But Tolkien went on to suggest that the greater orcs were not of this kind. Morgoth had many servants that belonged to the Maiar, the people of the Valar, and he could thus assume incarnate forms. It is thus conceivable that some chieftains among the orcs were in fact lesser evil spirits in orcish bodies. Tolkien also suggests that Boldog, a name previously given in the Lay of Leithian to an orc captain that was sent by Morgoth to capture fair Lúthien and was slain by her father Thingol, was actually a title, or the name for these orc-formed Maiar, only less formidable than the Balrogs. Thus it was that the histories speak of great orcs or orc captains who were not slain and who reappeared in battle through years far longer than the span of the lives of men. Whereas the lowly orcs were hunchbacked, long-armed and crook-legged, and had almost no will of their own, were not attended to by the mind of Sauron, the orc-formed Maiar were both capable leaders and fighters, being stronger and able to endure wounds that were fatal to other orcs. Azog certainly seems to fit this description, and he is even described as a great orc, a term that Tolkien even used as a synonym for the orc-formed Maiar. It would also explain Azog's position as the Orc King of Moria, and the unusual strength, agility, and resilience he displayed during his confrontation with 9 of the Iron Hills at the Battle of Azanulbizar.